Your phone, an important Windows 10 app. I'm Hewie Poplock. Your phone is an app that runs on your PC. It's pre-installed in recent Windows 10 updates, and if not, it is available to download from the Microsoft Store. To find out if you already have the app on your PC, in the search box on the taskbar, type in your phone and select your phone from the results. If your phone is not in your app list, open Microsoft Store in the app list, and in the search box at the top of the store page, type in your phone. If it is there, this is what it will look like. If you click on Microsoft Store and you already have installed your phone, you'll see the box at the top that I've got outlined in red. If that's not there, that means you have to get the app, and it is free, and you just click the app and follow the directions. Here's a description of it. Once you have your phone app installed on your PC, follow the directions to install the app on your phone. When you open your phone app for the first time, the steps vary depending upon how you've previously used Windows and various Microsoft mobile apps. Here are some of the things that it might ask you to do on your PC and on your phone. In the search box on the taskbar, type in your phone and then select your phone from the results. Sign into your Microsoft account. Or it might say enter your mobile phone number so it can send you a link to install a companion app on your phone. The specific app sent varies depending upon the type of phone you have. Typically, they will send you the Your Phone Companion app for Android. When you receive the text message from Microsoft, tap the link to install the companion app on your phone. Open the companion app on your phone and follow the setup instructions. If you're prompted to sign into the companion app, be sure to use the same Microsoft account that you're using on your PC. Accept notifications on your phone that request access to your photos and other related permissions. After you've completed the setup process on your Android phone and PC, you'll be able to use the Your Phone app to see your most recent photos from your phone and to send text messages from your PC. If you have an iPhone, you'll be able to send web pages from Microsoft Edge on your phone to Microsoft Edge on your PC. Here's what it looks like. Note, if you followed all of the setup steps and the connection is not working on your PC, select Settings and make sure Photos and Messages are set to On. The Your Phone app on Windows 10 lets you link your phone and PC to unlock a variety of cross-device experiences for Android. See recent photos from your phone on your PC for Android only, and view and send text messages from your PC for Android only. Android users get the best integration. The Your Phone app is a powerful and often overlooked part of Windows 10. If you're already an Android user, you can use it to text right from your PC, see all your phone's notifications, and quickly transfer photos. If you have the right phone and PC, you can even use your phone app to mirror your phone's screen and see it on your PC. Unfortunately, the iPhone users won't get any of that. Apple restrictions prevent that level of integration. iPhone users can set up your phone app to send web pages back and forth between their phones and PCs, but that's about it. How to transfer photos from your PC using your phone. Windows 10's Your Phone app shows recent photos and screenshots you've taken on your Android phone. The last 25 photos and screenshots you've taken will show up when you click on the photos on the right sidebar. From there, you can either drag a photo to a folder in the File Explorer or right-click and choose Copy or Save As and move them to your PC. Additionally, you can select Share and send the photo via text or email. It sounds minor, but avoiding the hassle of connecting your phone to your PC or jumping through hoops with Google Photos or OneDrive is a feature that can save a lot of time. So what you have here is the app, Your Phone on the left, and I just take one of the screenshots and I dragged it over my file manager, and just before I let go, a picture of it is there. When I let go, it creates it on my PC. If you need to transfer an older image, you'll have to connect your phone to your PC via cable, transfer them with a cloud service like OneDrive, or send them via email. How to text from your Windows 10 PC with an Android phone. The Your Phone app displays all of your text message conversations from your phone. You can send responses to see incoming text messages all in one place. Your conversations update to match your phone, so if you delete a thread from your phone, it will disappear from your PC as well. And here's what it will look like on your PC. Texting from the Your Phone app is straightforward, and the general layout may remind you of email. Click the On Messages in the left sidebar, and you should see all of your current text messages. If you don't, try clicking Refresh. Click on the message thread you want to respond to, like you would the subject of an email, and type into the Enter a Message box to respond. You can also scroll through your text messages history if you want to refer back to an older message. Here's what it looks like. The Your Phone app is able to mirror notifications from your phone to your PC. Notifications from your Android phone will appear on your PC, and clearing the notification from your PC will clear it from your phone. You can customize which apps show notifications on your PC, either to limit them to notifications you care about or prevent doubles. Unfortunately, all you can do is clear the notifications. While more recent versions of Android allow for notification interactions, like responding to a message, that functionality isn't mirrored to your PC. Clearing the notifications from your phone PC app also clears them from your Android phone. Overall, the Your Phone app is an unsung hero of Windows 10. It provides real value by letting you reach for the phone less often, whether that's to answer a text, check a notification, or move some pictures. If you haven't tried it out yet and you have an Android phone, you should give it a chance. You may be pleasantly surprised by what you find. Now, how does Microsoft Your Phone app work with an iPhone? We just connected our Android phone to Your Phone app, and things are very different for the iPhone. That's because the app has many limitations in the case of the iPhone. You do not get as many powers as available for Android phones. That is, you cannot sync messages, notifications, or even photos as available on the Android. Then what does the app do? Well, it lets you send links from the supported apps such as a web browser, a YouTube, Pinterest, and more from your iPhone to the Windows PC. By doing so, the links will open directly on your system. For instance, if you are reading an interesting article on any browser on your iPhone, then you can continue to read it on your computer using your iPhone app. In short, it connects iPhone and Windows in a different way than Android. The timeline also lets you view the recently opened and edited Microsoft files from Excel, Word, and so on the iPhone. The files must have been saved to the cloud, and only then can you view them on your timeline. Clicking on a file in Timeline will open it directly on your PC without you having to open any other app. Besides sharing links, you can also keep track of pages visited via the Edge browser on the iPhone. That's done via the Timeline feature on Windows. You can click on the web page in Timeline and it will load on your PC. Here's an article you might want to take a look at: how to link Microsoft Your Phone app to iPhone on Windows. And there is a link there to go to. Let's review by showing some screenshots. If you want to get to your phone app on the taskbar, look for it down on the lower left. The number in the circle is how many current notifications are on your app from your phone. You can also get it using the All Apps list, or if you have it on your Start menu, you can click on it from your Start menu. Or you can type in the search box and click on Your Phone app at the top of the page. Here's what it looks like. First, we have the notifications. These have to be turned on your phone as to which ones will pop up on your notifications, and you can control which apps you want to have notifications from. When you go to the messages, you can see a list of all the messages that you have gotten on your phone. You click on one of them, it will open that conversation up. If you move down to photos, you'll see a whole bunch of photos that you've taken. You can then copy them over to your PC. You can also make and receive calls right on your PC. There's no need to search for your phone to answer personal or work calls. Stay connected by answering calls right on your PC. And use your PC speakers, microphone, and larger screen for a richer calling experience. Here I am calling my own iPhone, but I just dialed in the number on the right, and it connected to the phone and dialed the number from the phone and was waiting for me to answer. Now in settings, you've got a lot of settings in your app. There are general settings. You want to show the badges. That's that little number. It shows how many notifications that you have. And you have some settings there. You can have more than one device. And then you can turn several things in your features on and off. Let's take a look at them a little closer. Their photos you got to turn on. Messages, allow this app to show text messages from my phone. Allow this to send, and so on, attachments. And you can read. I don't have to read all of these to you. And you can take a look on your phone because it may be different on your phone. And then there's some notifications, which ones you want on. And same thing with calls. You want to allow this app to make and manage calls from your phone. You can turn that off. But still get your messages, photos, and notifications. Under personalization, you can have wallpaper, you can have an audio player and multiple windows. And then, of course, you got help and feedback and about. Your phone, an important Windows 10 app. I'm Hewie Poplock. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, friends. This is Dewey. And my Tech Talk topic for today is update on cellular 5G. For those of you who haven't stayed current about 5G, I'll try to bring you up to speed. 5G stands for fifth generation cellular technology that promises to be 10 to 100 times faster than the present 4G or 4G LTE. 5G began rolling out several years ago and is expected to be implemented worldwide in the next 5 to 10 years. Beyond speed improvement, 5G is expected to unleash a massive IoT ecosystem. That's Internet of Things, in which cellular networks may also serve communication needs for billions of connected devices. You may expect trade-offs between 5G speed, latency, and end costs. By the way, latency is how long it takes a packet of data to travel round trip between 2 points. Regarding trade-offs, cloud-based services will likely require speed improvements more than latency improvements. However, critical applications like self-driving cars require the fastest possible latency for instantaneous response time. They almost never require fast data rates. They need latency. 5G's latency is as low as 1/1000th of a second, which is 200 times faster than the present 4G and 250 times faster than average human reaction time. Think about that. This blazingly fast reactive time may eventually be used in applications like remote surgical operations, they call it telesurgery, gaming, simultaneous translating, and driverless vehicles with dedicated onboard 5G. Well, all that sounds really exciting. However, the rollout of 5G is intensely complicated and would take more time than I have here to explain completely, but I'll do my best. Perhaps the best way to understand 5G sort of from a global view is to compare it to a dual band Wi-Fi router. Many of you have one of these. This has a lower frequency band with greater range, but slower. But it's slower in speed. And it has a higher frequency band that has less range, but is faster. 5G frequencies have several broad ranges. Frequency range 1 contains lower frequencies up to 6 gigahertz, and this includes the current 4G LTE frequency range. Now, range number 2, FR2, are frequencies from roughly 24 gigahertz to 53 gigahertz. 6 gigahertz may also be seen as the dividing line for what is called millimeter wave, or MM wave. Spectrum above 6 gigahertz is millimeter wave. Spectrum below 6 gigahertz is not millimeter wave. Since the merger of Sprint into T-Mobile, there are now effectively 3 cellular companies in the U.S., Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. Each approached spectrum somewhat differently from the others, at least when they started. They're now getting to be pretty much the same. Verizon is building out what it calls 5G ultra-wideband. Verizon's ultra-wideband is mostly 28 gigahertz millimeter wave. It has very high speed, but suffers greatly in distance and building penetration. In fact, there's a hard time going through a plate glass window. Verizon's fast millimeter wave UWB is now in parts of 61 U.S. cities, which includes 48 stadiums and 7 airports. May sound great, but it ain't that much. To greatly increase their distance, which is range, Verizon repurposed a huge chunk of its existing LTE spectrum so it could work in both 5G and LTE, and they call this dynamic spectrum sharing, DSS. Despite DSS, Verizon's 4G LTE speed hasn't changed. That's the present speed, like my phone and maybe yours is on, but their 5G remains super fast. T-Mobile's 5G network, like Verizon, started with fast ultra-wideband and later added in a much slower 0.6 and 2.5 gigahertz frequencies to greatly increase U.S. coverage. Though T-Mobile speeds are relatively slow, their wide coverage area makes it practical for present users and often attractive to prospective users. AT&T, on the other hand, has a very impressive list of cities with 5G coverage that, like T-Mobile, started with very fast ultra-wideband millimeter wave for business use primarily, and then they added in a much slower 0.85 gigahertz frequency to appeal to consumers. In June 2020, AT&T, like Verizon before, also began deploying DSS, dynamic spectrum sharing, to share its much slower LTE spectrum with its very fast 5G network. Now, how about 5G in Canada? There are currently 4 Canadian 5G service providers. And if you're Canadian, you probably know these well. Rogers Wireless, Bell Mobility, TELUS Mobility, and Videotron. Expecting to join these 4 in 2021, or perhaps a little beyond, are TELUS Fido, Kudu Mobile, Virgin Mobile, Freedom Mobile, Shaw Mobile, and SaskTel, I presume in Saskatchewan. Question: what's the bottom line on cellular 5G in the US and Canada at this time? Well, folks, it's not really good news. The answer is, despite a proliferation of 5G phones and lots of 5G hype, the truth is that only a very small percentage of people have true available service at this time. True 5G will eventually happen, but it is still several years, maybe 3 or 4 years away. Finally, if you plan to buy a new phone in the next year or two, I'd suggest buying a 5G phone if you can afford it. And if you decide to change cellular carriers, which often happens when you buy a new phone, be sure that you make the best choice. So you ask, how do I determine that? What is the best choice to pick the best way to pick a cellular carrier? My advice is to pick the carrier who has the strongest cellular signal, whether it be 5G or 4G, 4G LTE, wherever you live or are at most of the time. Pick the carrier who has the strongest signal where you live or are at most of the time. Not approaching cellular from this perspective can lead to tons of aggravation. Well, that's my Tech Talk story for today, and I'm sticking with it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.
Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Today's topic is going to be two-factor authentication. This is a very important security topic to discuss, so let's get on with it. Now, you remember the routine. If you like the video, please click the like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get on with the show. My goal today is that this tutorial should be fun and it should be easy to understand. Now, there are 4 methods of two-factor authentication, and I've tried to make it very simple, so I've called it simpler, I've called it simpler, I've called it simplest, and then there's brain dead, where it's so simple you don't have to do anything. That is going to be available at the end of the video, so please watch the whole video and you'll find out what the easiest way of two-factor authentication is. So let's get started. Now, two-factor authentication is very easy to understand. What is two-factor authentication? Well, it is simply a second way of identifying who you are. Let me explain how this works. Traditionally, when you go to log into a site, you'll put a password in. Now, I do understand there's lots of problems with passwords, but two-factor authentication is a second way of identifying who you are. Let's look at the problems we have with passwords. Now, I fully understand passwords are difficult. Passwords are always a huge problem. You know, despite having password managers for over 10 years, less than 5% of people use password managers. People use simple passwords to try and remember them. They use passwords for multiple accounts, the same password. And oftentimes, even if they have really good passwords and they use a password manager, they have very poor computing skills. And as the week goes by, they give up clues as to what their passwords do or are. So I do get it. And this is not a video on how to improve your passwords, because passwords just don't work. It's very interesting, though. Google published an article about a year ago, and within 2 or 3 seconds of you logging in onto the computer, Google can 100% identify who you are just by what you type on the computer. So it's very interesting. So passwords probably will be going away, and the sooner the better. Now, when we're talking about security, there's always the nobody somebody argument. And I've actually heard this many times from people in our audience today. Why worry? I am a nobody. Who would want to hack me? Now, it is very interesting, though. This is Tech for Seniors. Most of the world's personal wealth is actually held by seniors. So if you did want to focus in on a group who you wanted to hack, it would be seniors. But having said that, let me explain how hacking actually works. Now, I want you to have a little fun with this. I want you to go outside. I want you to lay down in the evening, and I want you to look up at the stars. The billions and billions of stars that are up there. And I want you to think of those stars as Google accounts. Google has a lot of accounts. It has over 1 billion accounts, right? And I want you to think of those stars as Google accounts. Now, what is in all those accounts that hackers would want? Man, all those stars and all that, what would those hackers want in all those accounts? And many of you think, yes, they want to get my bank account information so they can get into my bank account and steal my money. Well, that's not really true. Banks are pretty good now at protecting you, it's a lot of work to try and get some money out of your bank account. So what hackers are looking for is money, and money is in Bitcoins. Now, I fully understand that you probably don't own any Bitcoins. You may or may not know what a Bitcoin is. And you may, in fact, not even have a credit card and just want to pay cash all the time. I mean, seniors tend to be very conservative people. But let me tell you that Bitcoins are the currency of the future. And a lot of transactions in the world today, particularly in certain countries, are in Bitcoins. And there's billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoins traded in the world every day. And this is a digital form of currency that's stored in your Bitcoin wallet, which can be found in your Google account. So if the bad guys were looking for money, they're looking for Bitcoins because it's non-traceable and it's easy to get if they can get into your account and strip out the Bitcoins. That is where the bad guys are looking for the money. And the second thing is pictures. Pictures are very important, and this fuels the porn industry. So when the bad guys are hacking into your account, they're looking for compromising pictures. They're not only looking for compromising pictures, but they're looking for pictures that could be ransomed in the future. And this often happens when, there's young teenagers involved and they are taking pictures of their new boyfriend or doing some things they shouldn't be doing, and they forget when they take those pictures are all uploaded to the cloud. So when the bad guys come in and they're raiding the account, they're looking for those pictures, not only just to fuel the porn industry, which is huge, but also for future ransom. And you'll find out that a lot of, particularly country and western singers or singers in general, who have become very popular or successful, all of a sudden there's some pictures that shouldn't be on the internet or published. And of course, the first thing that happens is there's a denial, but after the pictures are out there, there's the, oh yes, my account was hacked 10 years ago. And finally, now the pictures surfaced. So pictures and money are the two things the bad guys want. So most of the hacking doesn't occur by people. it occurs by bots. These are basically computer software programs people have written to try and attack and get into your account. So these are not actually physical people logging in trying to sneak around and hack into your account. So I want you, as you're laying there and you're looking up into the sky, I want you to think of Star Wars and think about the bad guys launching the bots that are attacking the good guys. So what happens? Well, Google responds with their own bots and the war begins. And as you're sitting there looking up at the stars, thinking about this, think about the war of the good and the bad. But of course, the good will prevail and Google wins, right? So the casualty of war, though, could be your Google account. In other words, as these bots are attacking your account, they're stripping out the pictures in your account, they're looking for bitcoins, and as they go into your email system, they're demolishing, they're destroying your emails. Bang! Google zaps your account and it's gone. So your account is the casualty of the bot war. So what is in your Google account? It's your Gmail. So in my case, let me tell you what I would lose if I lost my Google account. I've spent years and years and years developing relationships with a lot of organizations I work with, huge number of people that I know. I communicate daily with them in email. That would all be gone. My Google Drive has 200 gigabytes of data on it. That would all be gone. Now, I've probably got it backed up, but it's still a lot of work to get it back up to Google Drive. Google Photos, you're going to lose all your Google Photos. Oh, man, that would be impossible to put all those photos. I've got 20,000 photos up there. It would almost be impossible to redo that. And the biggest one for me, and I realize this isn't for everybody, but is my YouTube channel. I've spent the last 5 or 6 years. There's tens of thousands of hours in that channel, and all the videos would all be gone. All because of an attack. All because someone hacked into my account, and now it's all gone. So do you want to start over? I don't think you do. So let's get you protected.